ado, let's get the next two guys into the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome firstly into the red corner, fighting out of Assassin's Gym, weighing at 67 kilos. Give it up for Warrell! And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner from Optimum MMA. Put your hands together for Fairburn! This is the bantamweight mixed martial arts contest over 3 2-minute rounds.
Headshots, yeah guys? Okay, be careful, avoid shots as well. Any questions? Questions? Touch shots now together guys. This is 5 all times, okay? Yeah. Okay guys, back to your corners, here we go.
Early days here at round number 1. However, we both know Luke Warrell, an exceptionally talented fighter, coming out well here in round number 1.
Very aggressive, coming out very aggressive.
I've seen this young man fight on a number of occasions. A great stand-up fighter in his own right, and also very, very accomplished on the ground. Obviously took this fight at short notice, and you have to feel, looking at the eyes of Edward Fairburn, this young man might be just a little bit out of his depth here in round number 1.
Perhaps, but he's looking quite composed here. He can't not allowing his opponent to get the takedown. He really wants this takedown. He really wants to get his man to the ground.
It's going to be a big slam from Warrell. Here we go. I think we've been treated to a big slam in every single fight so far.
Indeed,
I'm hoping.
I
don't know what these fighters have eaten for breakfast, but I want it.
Certainly hope they had their meat of it. As Luke looks to get into mount here with knee on stomach, lovely control, really good positioning here.
I think it's been an absolutely dominant few seconds here, early on in round number 1. For Luke Warrell from the red corner and also from Assassin's Gym. Edward Fairburn does need to change his game plan here. His corner looked quiet. The young man himself looks a little bit quiet. He needs to change what he's doing.
He's actually been quite composed here because as Luke Warrell is this aggressive, he cannot keep his pace out throughout the whole fight. He can slam his opponent all he wants. It doesn't really do anything. All it does is wear him out. And as Edward is holding on here, he might be able to bring us back in the later rounds.
Warrell there looking for mount. The question is, will Fairburn give it to him? Will he give him an inch? Warrell is relentless when it comes to transitioning here, as we've seen. When he wants a slam, I don't think there's anything else on his mind. He wants a slam.
Yeah, definitely. But he's looking to transition to the mount here, and I can't see from his angle, but I think he is.
Young Edward Fairburn eating some huge shots, echoing shots onto the ribs here. Luke Warrell with absolute bombs to the ribs of young Edward Fairburn.
Round number 2, Luke Warren wiping his feet with the towel there in the corner. Quite unusual, but he comes out with strong stand-up, beautiful leg kick.
Exactly, I think as you say, for me, the man wiping his feet in the middle of a break says to me he's looking for some stand-up, and I think he's
treating his opponent like a doormat here. He is just unloading on him.
Edward Fairburn is lost at sea, Tomek. In the stand-up world, he is lost at sea right now.
Oh my God, beautiful hit throw, straight into side control, and Luke is just looking around. What shall I do here? Shall I go to mount? Shall I look for a submission?
He is, at the moment, he's like a kid in a candy shop. Let's face it,
he's a little bit. He's really enjoying
and choosing what he
He
wants.
is. Now he's in mount, and Edward in deep trouble here. He's got body lock. He's holding on.
Quite literally clinging on for dear life, Edward Fairburn at the moment. Not really sure where to go. Luke Warrell with a dominant opening to round number 2, and you've got to feel that has gotten inside the head of Edward Fairburn here.
He has, as he looks for some kind of a submission here.
Potential armbar, might be looking for it.
Oh, switches to an omoplata, and again to an armbar. I don't think the angle's quite right though. His opponent is exhausted here though.
Fairburn not sure what to do. Fairburn moving definitely in the wrong direction there.
He is. I don't think he knows how to finish that submission. He should transition to something else right now. But a little bit of an unusual situation, even fighting, not knowing what to do.
Quite worrying there, Edward Fairburn moving in almost the completely wrong direction to counter an armbar.
Indeed, but Luke throwing up his legs here, keeping busy off his back, and looking really good. Looking really good. Perhaps looking for a sweep here.
We saw a little bit of what he can do in round number 1. I think we're seeing a lot more of Luke Warrell's arsenal here in round number 2. Clearly a composed fighter.
I don't really know what he's doing. He's going for a footlock, which I don't think is allowed in amateur. He's going for a straight footlock here, but it's not deep enough. He's not going to attack to this.
No real danger here for Edward Fairburn. No. Although that might change. May well have just been saved by the bell. Third and final round here, we have Luke Warrell versus Edward Fairburn. Warrell dominating the first 2 rounds.
He is, and he's taking a breather here, and you can just tell he is going to unleash any second now. He's just waiting.
Young Edward Fairburn, to his credit, taking the forward stance, taking the aggression there.
Indeed.
But I think it might well come back to bite him, Tomek, if I'm honest with you.
There's a bit of a battle between here for a takedown and a guillotine attempt. Look at this. Edward gets a takedown straight in the side.
Good work from Edward Fairburn.
Indeed. Let's see what he does from this. It could be a case of Luke wearing himself out in the first 2 rounds. So,
I'm not entirely sure that we've seen all we're going to see from Luke Warrell. Seems that young Edward here is just potentially getting a little bit more confident, which is good to see. It's nice to see him getting something out of this fight so far, because thus far it's been Luke Warrell all the way. However, Luke does look a little bit gassed.
He does a little bit, but he needs to be careful with his leg kicks, because for the 3rd time, Luke has caught his leg kick and gets the takedown off it. He needs to be really careful. And he's postured up, he's wary to his submissions. Yeah, both of these guys pretty good skill-wise and quite evenly matched. A really good fight here.
And again, I keep coming back to it, but so far in the early stages of Contenders here, we have seen some young guys, and we've seen some young guys with true potential, who, when coached right, when they continue to fight, could go a long way in this sport.
Definitely. I mean, these guys are going to be monsters in 3 or 4 years' time, as long as they train at the right gym. And right in front of us, once again, Luke is looking for a submission here. I think
just checked there by Edward Fairburn. Not quite in as deep as Luke Warrell would like it. However, I'm sure he's hoping that that will change in the very near future as he manoeuvres his body around Edward Fairburn.
It looks like quite an initial position. I can't quite see from this angle what he's got.
A good transition there from Edward Fairburn. Good work from the young man.
Yeah, indeed, he needs to fight here. It's do or die, and he dies.
A difficult end to the round, but great to see Edward Fairburn coming up with a little bit of tenacity in round number 3.
Definitely.
However, for me, that's gone the way of Luke Warrell.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for both these fighters. Luke Warrell taking his fight on short notice.